You can just stay. The variety of wheels. Yes. What is it like? Just for the free time. You like it? For 341, I have told you. On Wednesday, right? If you don't want to watch my video, I will make it very hard. I will not give you. Yes. I will not give you what they call it. Alright, we are going to talk about the motor functions. Now we have not talked about the motor system. We are not processing system. We are not processing system. And another lecture comes to you. What is it? No wahala. So I will start the motor system and with the help of God, I will finish it. The first thing we'll talk about is the motor function of the what? Spinal cord. If I generally, when you talk about motor system, right? We are talking about movement. You don't do what? Movement. Are you there? Are you there? Movement. And the brain is involved. The brain stem are involved. The brain stem is involved, right? The brain is involved. The brain stem is involved. Cerebellum is there. Are you there? The spinal cord is also there. They are all involved in what? The motor what? Function of your body. Is it not true? Now when we talk about motor function, everybody will be thinking about just the brain. Just the brain, the brainstem and the what? Cerebellum. If I'm the brain, that is what everybody will be thinking. Right? And you people usually relegate the spinal cord to a secondary what? Role when it comes to the motor function, but it's a lie. The spinal cord is very, very important because there are lots of circuits, right? There are lots of important circuits within the spinal cord that help to regulate what movement. So without the spinal cord, there will be no what? Movement. Are you there? Without the spinal cord, there will be no movement. So it's very important. We talk about the function, the motor function of the spinal cord. Are you there? Now, if you will agree with me. Let's say this is our spinal cord. Right? You know, this This is a segment of the spinal cord.
Yes, sir.
This is just a segment. You know what we call this? You remember your neural anatomy now? This is what? Posterior what? Posterior medial what? Septum. Right? Posterior medial septum. This is anterior what? Medial fissure. Is it also? This is white matter. The whole of this is what? White matter. Right?
Yes, sir.
This is your dorsal column. This is your what? Dorsal what? Dorsal column. Right? Where you have, of course, you know, you have the what? Gracile and the what? Cognate what? Fasciculus. Is it not so? Yeah, this is what it is called the grey horn. Right? The spinal what? Grey horn. This is the ventral grey horn. So the dorsal grey horn or posterior grey horn. This is what? The anterior grey horn. What is this? That's the central canal. Right? This is white what? Anterior white what? Commission. No, this is white commission. Right? This is what? Anterior white what? Folliculus. Right? Anterior white folliculus. What? Lateral what? White folliculus. And then the posterior what? Folliculus. Is it not so? Then we have the what? Anterior what? Commission. Anterior white what? Commission. Right? You remember now? Is it not so? Now, when we talk about the motor function of the spinal cord, right? When we talk about the motor functions of the spinal cord, if you would agree with me, you will know that the spinal cord has some important neurons. Are you there? The spinal cord has some important what? Neurons, which we call what? Of course, they are called motor neurons. Are you there? They are called what? Motor neurons. But basically, we call them the anterior ventral what? On motor neurons. Are you there? Or we call them anterior motor neurons. Or anterior ventral what? On motor neurons. Are you there? I say anterior ventral. No, it's not. It's tautology. Anterior horn. Right? Motor what? Neuron. Not anterior ventral. It's tautology. Are you there? It has a ventral horn motor neuron. Or anterior horn motor what? Neuron. Are you there? Or you can simply call it anterior motor neuron. Are you there? You can simply call it what? Anterior motor what? Neuron. Or you call it ventral motor what? Neuron. Or you call it anterior horn. When you say anterior horn, we know that they are located here in the anterior what? Horn. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
So we have anterior motor what? Neurons. Anterior motor what? Neurons. Don't forget it too. Anterior what? Motor neurons. Now we have two types of anterior motor neurons. Right? We have two types of anterior motor neurons. The first one is called what? The first one is called what? The first one is called what? The first anterior motor neuron. We have two types of anterior motor neuron. The first one is called what? It is called alpha, right? Motor neuron. Number two is called what? Yeah? It's not beta. It's called gamma motor neuron. Are you there? Number two is called gamma. Gamma motor neuron. You don't get it? Right? See, remember when I was talking about the sensory system, right? I told you that sensory information coming from sensory receptors usually go to the posterior horn, right? But when we talk about anterior, when we talk about motor fibers, it comes through here. Is it not so? So definitely, it is expected that your anterior motor neurons will be located here in the in the ventral horn or anterior horn, not the posterior horn. Are you there? So it will be located here. You look at it. So like I said, we have two. We have the alpha motor neuron and the gamma motor neuron. Alpha motor neurons are quite larger, right? Alpha motor neurons are quite larger. They are quite larger. Are you there?
Yes.
They are quite larger than the gamma motor neurons. Are you there? And then their fibers are larger than the fibers of gamma motor neurons. And their fiber is about 14. Their fiber is about 14 micrometer. Right? Their fibers are large. Their fibers are large myelinated fibers. Right? The alpha motor neurons fibers are large myelinated fibers that has a diameter of 14 micrometer. Then the second one is called gamma motor neurons. Okay. The second ones are called gamma motor neurons. Their fibers are small myelinated fibers that has a diameter of 5 micrometer. Are you there? This one is 14. This one is 5. That of gamma motor neuron is 5 micrometer. That of alpha motor neuron is 14. Is 14 micrometer. Is that difficult to understand? No, it is not difficult to understand. So just know that we have two anterior motor neurons. They are the alpha motor neurons and the gamma motor neurons. So these neurons are responsible for motor function. So usually they innervate They innervate muscles, skeletal muscles, right? That are involved in movement. Let's say this is your muscle. Let's say this is. Right? Let's say this is your bicep. Right? Tricep. Are you here? So they come down here and they innervate these muscles. They innervate the belly of these muscles and bring about motor movement. Do you understand? Is it difficult to understand? No, it is not hard to understand. Are you there? Now, apart from the alpha motor neurons and the gamma motor neurons, we also have another neuron which is more in number than the alpha motor neuron and the gamma motor neurons. Are you there? They are more in number, right? In fact, they are 30 times more than the alpha motor neurons and the gamma motor neurons. We call them what? What do we call them? Not beta neuron. We call them interneurons. Are you there? We call them what? Interneurons. Interneurons. They are more in number. That is called interneuron. They are more in number than what? Than the alpha and the gamma motor neuron. And they exhibit both motor and sensory function. They carry out both motor and sensory function. Remember when we were talking about the sensory system, did we not talk about interneurons? Right? Descending fibers that are going down to the spinal cord will first of all, usually they first of all what? Synapses with what? Interneuron, right? Before they will not have communication with what? The alpha with what? Gamma motor what? Neurons. Are you there? Fibers that are coming from pain fibers will first of all synapse with what? Interneurons before communicating with what? With, of course, other neurons. Are you there? So you can see that they are very what? Important. And their firing rate is very high. They have a firing rate of about 1,500 per second. Are you there? The interneuron has a firing rate of about 1,500 per second. 1,500. Their firing rates. Are you there? You can fire about 1,500 times per second. Are you there? You have a very high firing what? Rate. Are you there? So interneurons are very important. Very, very what? Important. One very important interneuron. One very, very important interneuron is called what? Who can tell me what we call it? An important, very important interneuron that is located in the spinal cord is called what? Who can tell me? We call it the ratio cells. The ratio what? Cells. What did I say? The ratio. Ratio cells or ratio neurons. They are also an what? Neurons. They are very important. Ratio cells. Are you there? The ratio cells are very important. Right? So, let's say we have ratio cells around here. There are plenty. Now, what is the function of ratio cells? Who can tell me what they do? Who can tell me what ratio cells do? What do they do? The ratio cells. They have inhibitory functions. Are you there? Are you there? Ratio cells have what? Inhibitory what? Function. How? Now, you see these alpha motor neurons and gamma motor neurons, right? Of course, they give out what? Fibers, right? That goes down to what? To the what? To the skeletal what? Muscles. Now, when they give out these fibers, they also give out collateral what? Fibers. Are you there? They also give out what? Collateral fibers that goes to where? To the ratio cells. Now, what does this collateral fiber do? It stimulates the what? The ratio what? Cells. And the ratio cells has connection with other alpha motor neurons. What? Alpha neuron will be very sharp. Do you understand? Do you understand? You don't understand? What? Or focus your what? To focus signals that are coming from a particular what? Alpha motor neurons. And how does it do it? Now, when an alpha motor neuron gives out a fiber, it also gives out collateral to what? The ratio cells, which will stimulate the ratio cells. The ratio cells also has connections with other alpha motor neurons. Do you understand? So what it does is to inhibit other alpha motor neurons so that the signals coming from that parent alpha neuron will be what? Very what? Sharp. Do you understand? It focuses and sharpens what? The signal from the what? From the main alpha neuron that gives out collateral that which of course stimulates it. Do you understand it? Do you get it? Do you get it? You don't get it. Do you understand it? Do you understand it? Philip, do you understand it? Do you understand it? Okay. Now see. Okay. Let me clean all this one. Let's say this is what? This is your ratio what? Cell. This is what? Alpha motor neuron. This is gamma motor what? Neuron. Right? Now, look at what I mean. Let's say this is another alpha motor neuron. Are you there? This is another alpha what? Motor neuron. Now, this particular alpha neuron sends collateral fibers to the rential cells, which will inhibit other what? Alpha what? Motor neuron. Do you understand? Are you there? Which will inhibit other what? Alpha motor what? Neuron. So that these other ones will not send signal to the what? Muscle. It's only this one that can what? Send signal to the muscle. So what it does is to increase the signal of this one, to sharpen the signal of this one by inhibiting other what? Neurons. Do you understand? Are you there? Yes, you shake here. If you don't understand, how do you want me to explain it now? You don't understand it? See, signals from other neurons might interfere with the stimulation of this what? Muscle. Are you there? So what it does is to inhibit them by stimulating what? The rential cell, which has a way of inhibiting other what? Neurons. So that only this one will what? Fire. The rential what? We have other interneurons, right? We have what that tries to act what segments. Do you understand? Right? Okay, we can have another spinal cord here. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm saying? So if you have, for instance, you have another spinal cord segment here. Right? And then we have, let's say we have a proprioceptor what? We have an interneuron which gives out fibers to this one and also gives out fiber to another what? Segment. Right? To control what? This neuronal circuit and also to control what? This neuronal what? Circuit. So this fiber, right? These fibers are called proprioceptor what? Fibers. Are you there? And the neurons are called proprioceptor what? Neurons. Are you there? And but then you should know that they are also interneurons. So how many neurons have we mentioned? How many neurons have we mentioned? 3 or 4?
4.
3 or 4. We have mentioned alpha motor neuron, gamma motor neuron, reticular cells, and what? Proprioceptor what? Neuron. So, but you should know that the proprioceptor neurons are also interneurons. Are you there? Is it difficult to understand? Huh? The proprioceptor neurons, they give out ascending and descending fibers to other what? Spinal segments, right? The circuit of other spinal segments to control activities there. Are you there? So, of course, they are interneurons, right? They are also what? Interneurons. So, the first one we talked about is the alpha motor neurons. The second one is the gamma what? Motor neurons. Then we talked about interneurons, right? Interneurons. Under this one, we talked about rential what? Rential cells, which has the main function is what we call lateral inhibition. Are you there? We call it lateral inhibition. We also have lateral inhibition in our sensory system. We also have lateral inhibition in sensory system, right? Are you there? But it is the rential cells that brings about lateral inhibition in the motor what? System, in the spinal cord, right? Alright, then we also have what? The proprioceptor what? Proprioceptor neurons. All these are interneurons. Are you there? Now, let's talk about sensory fibers. Sensory receptors of muscle what? Fibers. Of muscle fibers. Are you there? There are usually 2 feedback that are usually sent to the spinal cord from the muscle. Are you there? there are two feedback information that goes to the spinal cord from the muscle. Right? Are you hearing me? There are two feedback information that goes to the spinal cord from the what? Muscle. One is referred to as what? The length. The length of the muscle. The second one is called what? The tension in the muscle. Are you there? Now, when you stretch, there is contraction in this muscle. What will happen? The length will shorten, increase. These are what? Sensory what? Signals that is usually sent to what? The spinal what? Cord. And not only that, the tension in the muscle, right? Are you there? The tension in the muscle can also be sent to what? To the spinal cord. Now, there are two sensory receptors. We have mentioned it before, right? There are two sensory receptors that can pick what? Signals that have to do what? The length of the muscle and the tension in the muscle. Are you there? These receptors are known as proprioceptors, right? They are known as what? Proprioceptors. Now, the first one that can pick signal that has to do with the length of the muscle is called what? Muscle spindle. You remember? Muscle what? Spindle. The one that picks information that has to do with tension is called what? What is it called? Tendon organ. It is called Golgi what? Tendon organ. Muscle spindle and Golgi tendon organ. They are, both of them are what? Proprioceptors. Right? They are proprioceptors. The muscle spindle picks information that has to do with what? The length of the muscle. When you stretch a muscle, right, you tend to stimulate the what? Muscle spindle. Are you there? Are you there? Then when tension is actually initiated in the muscle, what are you actually stimulating? You are stimulating the body or tendons. And where are they located? They are located in the tendons. Right? Before the tendons will go and attach to what? Tendons attach to bones. Ever before they attach to the bone, they pass through the what? The Golgi tendon what? Apparatus before they attach to what? Your bones. Do you understand? So when the muscle is contracted, right? In a way, sometimes when you contract your muscle, right, you tend to apply tension or stress on the muscle, this muscle, and in a way, the muscle can, for instance, if you are carrying a heavy, what they call it, if you are carrying weights, dumbbell, right? If you are carrying dumbbell, you know that you can avulse your muscle, your tendon. Your tendon can actually pull out from your bone. Do you understand? Especially if the weight is too much. Are you there? If the weight is too much, there will be a avulsion of that particular muscle or tendon. Do you understand? So the Golgi tendon apparatus, what does it do? It helps to prevent what? The avulsion of what? Of the muscle. Why? Because it will pick the information that has to do with the tension of the muscle, send it to the spinal cord for there to be what? For it to be what? Controlled. Do you get it? For it to be what? Controlled. So muscle spindle picks information that has to do with what? The length of the muscle. Golgi tendon organ picks information that has to do with what? The tension of what? The muscle. Now let's talk about the muscle spindle. Let's talk about the muscle spindle. Yes? Avulsion in the muscle. Avulsion, tearing of the muscle. Alright. Now, when we talk about muscle spindle, right? When we talk about muscle spindle, what are we talking about? We are talking about the sensory receptor that is found in what? In your muscle. Are you there? Are you there? Now, in your muscle, let's say this is your muscle. This. Right? This is your muscle now. Let's say this is your bicep muscle. Are you there? In this muscle, have what we call, it is divided into two parts, right? Are you there? We have the extrafusal what? Muscle, right? This one, the muscle belly you are seeing is known as what? Extrafusal what? Extrafusal what? Muscle. Are you there? You get it? Yeah? The muscle belly, what you are seeing now is known as what? Extrafusal what? Muscle. Are you there? Then we have, inside this structure, we have what we call the what? The muscle spindle. And the muscle spindle is called what? Interfusal what? Muscle. You get it? Are you there? The muscle spindle is called what? Interfusal what? Muscle. This one now is called extrafusal. What you are seeing is called what? Extrafusal. Right? But within, right, you have the what? Muscle spindle. You have the muscle spindle within. Are you there? And the muscle spindle is called what? Interfusal what? Fiber. This one is called extrafusal what? Fiber. Extrafusal fiber. And then this other one is called what? Interfusal what? Fibers. Are you there? Are you there? Now the muscle spindle has a length of 3 to what? 10 what? Centimeter. That's the length of a typical what? Muscle spindle. So let me draw it. Let's say this is a muscle spindle. Are you there? It extends from one end of the extrafusal fiber to another what? End. Are you there? In fact, it attaches to the what? Glycocalyx. It attaches to what? The glycocalyx of the what? Extrafusal what? Fiber. And it has a length of 3 to what? 10 centimeter. Are you there? Are you there? Now, we usually have two types of intrafusal what? Okay, another thing you should know about the intrafusal fibers is that, of course, they are striated in nature. Are you there? The intrafusal muscles, so the fibers, are what? Striated in nature. But at the center, right? The center is what? Is devoid of what? Actin and myosin filaments. When we say striated muscles are what? Skeletal muscle. And all skeletal muscle has what? Actin and myosin what? Filament. Right? But intrafusal fibers, right? Intrafusal fibers has actin and myosin filament, but at the center, right? The center is devoid of what? Actin and myosin what? Filament. Are you there? Are you there? So at this point here, let's say from here to here is devoid of actin what? Filament. But from the whole of this and here is what? Has actin and myosin filament. That's to say that from here to here is contractile. From here to here is not what? Contractile. Are you there? Are you there? And we usually have two types of intrafusal fibers. Right? We have two types. The first one is called what? Nuclear chain fiber. The first one is called what? Nuclear chain fiber. The second one is called what? Nuclear what? If you have nuclear chain fiber, then what do we have? What is the second one? The second one is called nuclear bag fiber. So we have nuclear chain and nuclear what? Nuclear chain and nuclear bag. This one is nuclear what? Bag. This one is called nuclear chain. Are you there? Nuclear chain and nuclear what? Nuclear bag and this is nuclear bag. Nuclear bag. Fiber. This is called what? Nuclear what? Chain. Fiber. Now, why do we call this one nuclear bag fiber? We call it nuclear bag fiber because at the center is bulge. Are you there? The center is what? Bulge. And we have a lot of nucleus, right? Around that area. In other words, the nucleus is concentrated around this what? Area. But for the nuclear chain, the nucleus is what? Linear. It is what? Linear. Like a chain. That is why we call this one nuclear what? Chain. And we call this one nuclear what? Bag. You see, this one is like a bag. Right? It is bulge in nature and has a concentration of its nucleus around that what? Region. Are you there? Are you there? Whereas this one is like a chain. This one is like a chain. That is why we call it nuclear what? Chain. This one is called what? Nuclear bag fiber. This is called nuclear chain fiber. You get it? So in all, you should know that this one, the whole of this is what? This is extrafiscal what? Fibers. Right? And these ones are what? Intrafiscal what? Fibers. The intrafiscal fibers are divided into two. We have what? The nuclear bag fiber and the what? Nuclear chain fiber. Now, the nuclear bag fibers contain about what? 1 to 3 in a muscle, right? In a muscle, we have about 1 to 3 what? Nuclear what? Nuclear bag, right? We have about 1 to 3 nuclear bag, and then have about what? 3 to what? 9 what? Nuclear chain. So we have more nuclear chain fibers than nuclear what? Bag fibers. Are you there? We have more nuclear chain fibers than what? Nuclear bag fiber in the muscle. We have more of this than this in the muscle. Are you there? You get it? We have more nuclear bag fibers than what? Nuclear chain fibers in the muscle. We have more nuclear bag, more nuclear chain than nuclear what bag. We can see that we have about 1 to 3 what? Nuclear what? Bag fibers and 3 to 9 what? Nuclear chain fibers. You get it? You get it? Alright, now, is it confusing? What's the problem? See, the nuclear bag and the nuclear chain is coming from. It's not following. I said that this is your muscle, right? Your muscle has 2 parts, right? This one you are seeing is called extrafusal what? Fiber. But within, right? Within is called what? Is a receptor. There is a receptor within, a sensitive receptor, which is called what? Intrafusal what? Fiber. And we have 2 types of intrafusal fibers. One is called nuclear bag, the other one is called nuclear chain. So, but we have more of nuclear chain than nuclear what? Bag. Do you understand? So these are your muscle spindles. These are the muscle spindles. Do you understand? Are you there? These are your muscle spindles. They are sensory what? Receptors. They are what? Sensory receptors. If you don't call them sensory receptors, you can call them proprioceptors. Right? Why? Because they pick information that has to do with the length of the muscle. Do you understand? Are you there? So that is that. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Can I go on?
Yeah.
Can I go on? Alright, so now the extrafiscal fiber, right? The extrafiscal fiber is usually innervated by alpha motor neuron. Are you there? The extrafiscal fibers usually innervated by what? Alpha what? Motor what? Neuron. And I told you that the alpha motor neuron has a diameter of what? 14 micron, I think. 14 micron. 14 micrometer. 14 micro what? 14 micrometer. Are you there? Now, The nuclear bag fiber, right? The nuclear bag fiber is innervated by what? Thank you. Thank you. This is called gamma. Gamma what? Motor what? Neuron. Are you there? Can you see? The nuclear chain fiber, right, is innervated by what? Gamma motor what? Neuron. And it is the contractile part, right? It is the contractile part that is usually innervated by the what? Gamma motor what? Neuron. You know it has contractile part, and then the center, right, does not have active what? Myosin. So this center is not what? Contractile in nature, but this side is what? Contractile in nature. So here to the same thing, right? Gamma motor neuron. Or let me not confuse you. Let me just leave it like that. You get it? You get it? It can also, see, the nuclear chain can also be what? Innervated by what? Okay. This one can also be innervated by what? Gamma motor what? Neuron. Gamma motor what? Neuron. Gamma motor what? This is what? 5 what? 5 micrometer. Is it not so? You don't understand? You don't understand? See, the extrafacial muscle fibers are innervated by alpha motor neuron. Right? Whereas the gamma motor neuron innervates what? The interfacial what? Fibers. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
The gamma motor neuron innervates the what? Interfacial fibers. The alpha motor neuron innervates what? The extrafacial what? Fibers. Are you there? Now, you should also know that the muscle spindle also have what we call primary and secondary what? Sensory fibers. Or let's say primary and secondary fibers that actually carries what? It carries what? Sensory information to the spinal cord. Are you there? Now these ones are coming from the spinal cord. You know that these are efferent what? Neurons. These ones are efferent neurons. You know what efferent neurons are? They are motor neurons that are coming from what? The spinal cord. But then, you know, when you stretch this muscle, when you stretch it, right? If you stretch the muscle, it will send what? Sensory afferent impulses to the spinal cord. How does it send it? It sends it via what? Some fibers that are called primary and secondary what? Fibers. Are you there? It sends those information, right? Information that has to do with the length of the spindle via what? Primary and secondary what? Fibers. This one I want to sleep. Are you there? Are you there? Now the primary fiber is called what? Annulospiral what? Ending. You can also call it annulospiral ending. I've said this thing before. Annulo what? Annulospiral what? Are you there? And this particular fiber is type what? It is type 1 what? A fiber. So it is like this. It is like this. Right? It spirals around the center. Right? It spirals around the center of what? Of the muscle spindle. Are you there? And also supplies here. It supplies this other one too. So this is a primary what? This is what? Type 1A. 1A fiber. Type 1A fiber And we also have secondary fiber, right? We also have secondary fiber that's also sends sensory information to the spinal cord. And this sensory fiber is called what? It is called flower spray what? Ending. It is called what? Flower spray ending. Or we call it type what? 2 fibers. Type 2 fibers. Are you there? Type 2 what? Fibers. Can you see this? Can you see this? Are you there? Is it difficult to understand? No. See, this muscle spindle has what? It has what? A sensory what? Innervation. Are you there? The muscle spindle has a sensory what? Innervation. That is coming from what? Type 1A and type 2 what? Fibers. Are you there? The type 1A fiber is also called what? Annulospiral ending. This one is called what? Flower spray ending. Now, listen. The type 1A fiber, right? Innervate both the what? The nuclear bag and the nuclear what? Chain fiber. Type 1A fiber innervates both the nuclear bag and the nuclear chain what? Fiber. Whereas type 2 fibers innervate what? Only the nuclear chain. You can see it from the diagram. It innervates only the nuclear what? Chain fibers. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is primary ending. Primary ending. This is secondary what? Ending. So these are typical what? Muscle what? Spindle. Is it difficult to understand? If you don't understand, I will explain it again. If you don't understand it, I will explain it again. Anything you don't understand, tell me. Can I go on? Can I go on? Can I go on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. He said? Primary. Okay, don't understand that one. See. See. You know what to call this? Extrafusal what? Fiber. Right? The extrafusal fiber is supplied by an efferent what? An efferent fiber called what? The what? Alpha motor what? Neuron. The efferent fiber for the what? Intrafusal muscles, that is your muscle spindle, is known as what? The gamma motor what? Neuron. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
You should also know that the muscle spindle also has a sensory what? Fiber. Do you understand? This is a sense organ. So this is a sensory receptor. Are you there? Now, what is a receptor? A receptor is what? What is a receptor? It picks signals, information, right? Signals about the length of the muscle. It sends that signal to what? To the muscle. So to the spinal. Are you there? It sends that signal to the spinal cord. So it has two what? Sensory what? Ending, or we call it primary and secondary ending. One is type A, one is what? Type 2. One is type 1A, this other one is type what? 2. This one is called what? Primary ending. This is called secondary ending. This is also called annulospiral ending. This is called what? Flower spray ending. It's as simple as that. So these ones now, where are they going to? These two now, where are they going to? They are going to the posterior horn. Are you there? Right? These two now, this one now, will come here and enter the spinal cord via the posterior horn. Are you there? That is that. That is that. It's very simple. It's as simple as that. Are you there? Now, we have what we call dynamic and static what? Responses. What did I say? We have dynamic and static what? Responses. dynamic and static what? Responses. Now, what do we mean by dynamic? Okay, what do we mean by static response? What do we mean by static response? Now, when you slowly stretch a muscle, are you there? When you slowly stretch a muscle, right? When you slowly stretch the muscle spindles will be slightly what? Stimulated. Are you there? Are you there? They will be slightly what? Stimulated. And of course, when they are stimulated, they will send both the nuclear bag, right? And okay, particularly the nuclear chain fibers, right? Will send information, right, via the primary ending and the what? Secondary ending down to the spinal cord, right? That response that it gives, right? Okay, see, let's put it this way. When the muscle is slowly stretched, are you there? Now the muscle spindle will be stimulated, right? Slightly. To be stimulated what? Slightly. Are you there? Now, when it is stimulated, it will send what? Information. You see that so? It will send what? Information. Afferent information to what? To the spinal cord. Via what? Via the primary ending and what? Secondary ending. Because you can see now that this now, it's important to know that the nuclear chain fiber is responsible for static what? Responses. Are you there? Nuclear band fibers are responsible for what? Dynamic what? Responses. Now, if you look at this nuclear chain fiber, right? If you look at the nuclear chain fiber, it is supplied by what? By type 1A and type 2 what? Fibers. So when a muscle is slightly stimulated, or slightly stretched, when you stretch it slightly, what will happen? It will stimulate what? The primary, it will stimulate the what? The muscle spindle, and then the information will be sent via the what? The primary ending and the what? Secondary ending to the spinal cord. Right? That response that is given is called what? Static what? Response. Are you there? The response that is given when the muscle is stimulated slightly or stretched slightly is called what? Static what? Response. But when you stretch a muscle abruptly, are you there? When you stretch it abruptly, what will happen? The nuclear band fibers will be stimulated, and it will send information via what? You can see that the only fiber that stimulates the nuclear band fibers is called what? Is the type 1A fiber, right? So to send information impulses via this what? Fiber to the spinal cord. That abrupt response that is given is called what? Dynamic what? Response. So you can see the difference between dynamic response and static what? Response. Are you there? Alright. The first one is called static. The second one is dynamic what? Response. Dynamic response is when you stimulate the muscle abruptly, spontaneously. Are you there? When you stretch it spontaneously. Are you there? The nuclear band fibers will be what? Stimulated, and it will send information via the what? Type 1A fiber. Right? But this one, when you stimulate it slightly, right, it will send information via the what? The nuclear chain fibers. Right? It will stimulate the nuclear chain fibers and send information via type 1A and type 2 what? Fibers. Is that difficult to understand? No, sir. Alright. Now let's talk about stretch reflex. Stretch reflex. Stretch reflex. Stretch reflex. Are you there? Can we go? Alright. I think I can use this to talk about it. Okay, I can use, yes, I can use it. Now, see, listen. In stretch reflex, when you stretch a muscle, right? For instance, okay, yes. For instance, you stretch this muscle now. Are you there? If you stretch this muscle, what will happen? You stretch this muscle. This information, when the muscle spindle is stretched, right? Are you there? Now, information coming from either the primary nerve ending or the secondary ending will come where? Will come here. Right? You know what this is? Huh? You know now, you should know now. You remember this thing now, the total ganglion now. Don't fall my hand, right? This pseudo unipolar what? Neuron that comes to supply what? Right? This one is this now. Are you there? So now, it will come here and directly stimulate what? An alpha motor neuron. Right? It will directly stimulate an alpha what? Motor neuron. Alpha motor neuron, which will come down here and stimulate what? The muscle. Are you there? Now this one is coming from what? This is coming from the what? Intrafusal what? Fibers. Are you there? It is coming from the intrafusal what? Fiber. When you stimulate the muscle, the intrafusal fibers will be stretched. You stretch the intrafusal fiber, it will send impulses via the what? Via type 1A or type 2 what? Fibers. Are you there? Are you there? You understand? This is type A or type 2 what? Sensory what? Fibers. It will send information via this fiber into the what? Spinal cord that will go and stimulate what? The what? Alpha motor neuron. Alpha motor neuron. Alpha motor what? Neuron. Right? When the alpha motor neuron is stimulated, I told you, the alpha motor neuron is an efferent what? Gives rise to what? An efferent what? Fiber that will come here and stimulate what? This muscle. When it stimulates this muscle, what will happen? It will bring about what? Contraction of the what? Muscle. Are you there? Okay. How is this muscle contracted? How is this muscle contracted? Let me put it that way. Let me ask you a question. How is this muscle contracted? Now, when you stretch this muscle, when you stretch the muscle spindle in this muscle, right, it will send impulse via the what? Via what? The afferent fibers, which are what? Type what? Type A, 1A and type what? 2. Or you can call it primary and secondary what? Fibers. Right? Now, these primary and secondary fibers will go and what? Stimulate what? It will go direct to the what? Anterior gray signal to the what? The alpha motor neuron, stimulate the alpha motor neuron. The alpha motor neuron will now send impulses, right? Or action potential, right? It will send impulses via the what? This neuron that goes down to what? The extrafusal muscle. Do you understand? So it will stimulate the extrafusal muscle. When the extrafusal muscles are stimulated, what will happen? It's stimulated, what will happen? It will result in what? Muscle contraction. Are you there? So you can see that this particular part, this reflex, this is a reflex, right? Are you there? We call it stretch what? Reflex. Stretch reflex. Stretch what? Reflex. Are you there? So this reflex act is a monosynaptic what? This reflex, is a monosynaptic what? Reflex. It is called what? A monosynaptic what? Reflex. It's just one. The reflex. Do you understand? So we call it monosynaptic what? Reflex. The stretch reflex is called what? A monosynaptic what? Reflex. Do you understand? Do you get it? Okay. Now, you don't understand it. Now, also you should know that we have two muscles here. If this one is contracting, one will be relaxing. Is it not so? If one is contracting, one will be what? Relaxing. So how is this one relaxing? How is this one relaxing? Now, this fiber, right? Of course, to stimulate what? Stimulated, it will come here and inhibit this what? Muscle. When this muscle, are you there? You know, muscles are antagonistic in nature. Do you understand? What? Relax. If your bicep contracts, your bicep what? Relax. Do you understand? So what causes it? Yeah, is what I've just what? Explained. Now let me explain it again. Now for your tricep to contract, I'm talking about the stretch reflex, right? For your tricep to contract, what will happen? Of course, when the muscle is stretched, right? When the muscle is stretched, it stimulates what? The muscle spindles. Right? When the muscle spindle is stimulated, what will happen? Efferent impulses will be sent via this efferent nerve. Do you understand? This efferent nerve fiber, which is what? The type of muscle contraction. Then there is also inhibition of the tricep. How is the tricep inhibited? This same fiber, right? We stimulate an interneuron that will stimulate an alpha motor neuron, which will come and inhibit what? This. Are you there? You get it? So that is that. Then there is what we call alpha motor and gamma motor neuron coactivation. Alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron coactivation. It is very important for the function of the muscle. Alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron what? Coactivation. Who can explain it? Who can explain it? Alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron coactivation. Who can explain it? Which smart student can explain it for me? I say it now, you know the answer. Okay, in my time, Mom. No, in my time is gone. I started before 12. So I still have like 10 minutes. Nothing to go. I want to finish this topic today. So that when next I come. Your quiz. Your brain is full. I have heard about the alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. Now when we talk about alpha motor neuron and gamma motor coactivation, right? You know that the alpha neuron, right? Listen, the alpha motor neuron brings about stimulation of what? Right. The extraphysial muscle, right? And they also bring about what? The contraction of what? The extraphysial what? Muscle. Are you there? Now, when that's now you can see that then the gamma motor neuron, what does it do? This muscle is aided by what? The alpha motor neuron, right? The contraction of this muscle will also result in of what? Of the intraphysial what? Gamma motor neuron is stimulated. It will cause what? This muscle spindle. This if the gamma motor neurons are not functional, then I don't think the muscle spindles will fire. They will not fire. Are you there? Because when the gamma motor neurons fire, it stretches the what? The muscle spindle. Is it not true? It stretches the muscle spindle, and when once the muscle spindle is stretched, what will happen? It will generate impulses that will what? That will go to the spinal cord via the what? The afferent fibers. Do you understand? So that's called what? Alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron what? Coactivation. Are you there? Now the last thing we talk about is what? Yeah? You don't understand what? This coactivation. During coactivation, the alpha motor neurons and the gamma motor neurons are stimulated at the same time. Are you there? They are stimulated at the same time. Now, if the gamma motor neurons are not stimulated, it means that the muscle spindles will not what? Be stimulated. Right? The muscle spindle will not be stretched. And if the muscle spindle is not stretched, then it means that what? Contraction will not be what? Sustained. Right? And that is why the alpha motor neuron and the gamma motor neuron must be stimulated at the same time. Do you understand? That's what we call alpha motor neuron, gamma motor neuron what? Co-activation. Do you get it? Are you there? Alright. Now let's talk about Golgi tendon reflex. Golgi tendon reflex. Golgi tendon reflex. Golgi tendon reflex. That's the last thing we'll talk about. You have another class now? Yes. You have another class now? Yes. What do you have? Huh? Okay, is the lecturer around? Okay, it's practical. Okay. When next I come, that's the last thing we'll talk about. And then we'll talk about the proprioceptors tracts. In fact, we'll talk about the pyramidal and the extrapyramidal tracts, right? Remember your test. Whatever I have taught you here, maybe what my videos maybe what my videos. But once I see that you are watching it, if I see the one that you have watched, the one that you have really attacked and watched, that's the one I will set. So if I'm not the one, I'll be looking at it.